turn down the volume on my music just a little lower than we usually do. Yeah, there we go. Making it a little background. Now let's say hello and get the lighting right. There I am. Hi. Thank you for the subscription, monsieur. It is you. Hi. I'm glad you're here. We're doing a little artsy thing today. I got my sparkly lights in the background and everything. All right, I gotta turn off my dinner time alarm because nobody's gonna eat dinner tonight. Well, actually, yeah. Sorry I wasn't able to call on Sunday. Ah, I see. Yeah, I figured that if it wasn't just being busy, because it's always a short visit when you come in from out of town, you want to see as many people as possible, you know. And I remember the visit, and I remember you weren't feeling very well then. I hope it improved at least a little bit that night, and that we're doing okay today. We'll make sure to make a longer visit in June, yes. I need to have good posture for this. All right. So let's get introductions out of the way. Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Wincy Blue. I'm a musician and an artist out of Seattle, Washington. Unless you are in Seattle and a purist, then I'm actually in Bothell. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just prettier. Don't get me wrong, I love Seattle. I lived there for many, many years. It's just, after a while, if you're not actually living in Seattle, the people actually living in Seattle get a little perturbed, and I understand that. So let's see. Tonight, I'm going to go ahead and do what I've been doing for the last few weeks, and that is I'm going to illustrate a couple of tarot cards, and one of them is the Lovers. Now, the Lovers is a very interesting card, so I'm going to find a clean spot in my sketchbook, and then we'll switch the camera around. Now, just for a refresher, here, this is what I ended up doing last time. And this is actually the Hierophant, which last week I worked on him and one other. No, I don't think I worked on another one. I think it was just the Hierophant, because I can usually get a couple of illustrations in during a session. And so tonight we will be going for about as long as our friend Melodies for the Heart has in this particular background music, which is their lo-fi, no copyright for us streamers, called Hope. So Melodies of the Heart. And if you are not watching this on YouTube, you can always go back to YouTube, because I keep an archive there, and it will give you a link to this particular lo-fi, which is really nice. So let's come back to this, and I'll do a quick recap of what we've done so far. We started with the magician. Let me just get a little closer. Are we close? We're as close as we're going to get. And the object of the whole thing is to create affirmation cards as a digital download so that you can take a bunch of them and print them out and stick them on your fridge or put them in your car. I haven't exactly found my target audience yet, so I'm just kind of going everywhere with it. And I'm not very pleased with this magician, but I do like this one. She's pretty sassy. And then after that, we did the Empress and the High Priestess. That was kind of fun. Just doing a little bit of crowdsourcing the affirmations that may follow. And then we did the Emperor, which was kind of a fun one. Just a few different things. You know, a leader, somebody to look up to, somebody to affirm your being, your purpose. And then the Hierophant. So today we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn this way. Oh, no, we're not, because Wynn already started this last time. Isn't that wonderful? I've forgotten completely what I did 7 days ago. That's just lovely. Okay. So I have the Lovers here, and I'm going to pull out my own deck so that you can see. I find that my tarot cards tell a better story than, say, the Rider-Waite deck. Because currently I am using the Mythic Tarot, which is completely and totally built on the stories from Greek myth. And we're going to give, where are we? We're going to look at the Lovers as far as this goes. Look at mine right here. So many bells and whistles on this thing. All right, so we have the Lovers here from the Mythic Tarot, and then on the left you have the Rider-Waite deck, which is the one that everybody knows about, right? So we're going to go here and we're going to look through some of the designs that they have, because a lot of them are really, really pretty. And it pretty much says the same thing. It's the Lovers, and it's usually a couple, sometimes with an angel over them. I really like this one. This one is pretty, it's very dark, but it's also appropriate. I love the themed cards. Just really, really pretty. So now that we have kind of an idea of where the Lovers are going, your assumption is probably going to be, oh yeah, okay. When this appears in your tarot spread, you're going to end up with romance, right? That's not the case. When the Lovers appear in a spread, it's not just about love. It's not always about love either. It's about personal balance. I know that sounds very strange, but it's true. Now, in this particular card, we have a young man with a golden apple. And on this apple is an inscription that says, "To the fairest." And unfortunately, he happens to be in the presence of several goddesses whom he has to figure out who is the fairest and what does he risk in choosing just one. Because we have Hera, who offers him the world. Please have everything. You have Aphrodite, who promises him just the most fulfilling love. And Athena, who promises him power. All these things are something that a young man with absolutely no good sense would consider. So I'm going to read you this story because it is really fun. This is Paris, who was commanded by Zeus to judge a beauty contest between three goddesses, Hera, Aphrodite, and Athena. When Paris was born, an oracle declared that one day he would be the downfall of his father's kingdom. No pressure. His father, King Priam of Troy, sentenced him to death by exposure on a hillside, but he was rescued by a shepherd. Paris grew to manhood tending sheep, filling his spare hours with romantic conquests, for he was very handsome and very charming. So when a quarrel broke out on Mount Olympus between Hera, Aphrodite, and Athena as to who was the loveliest, Zeus decided that Paris, with his rich and varied experience of women, would be the best judge of the contest. Hermes was sent to inform the young man of this dubious honor accorded him by the king of the gods. Paris understandably refused the request, knowing full well that whichever goddess he chose, the other two would never forgive him. But Hermes threatened him with Zeus's ire. Oh yes, no pressure at all, right? Paris then kindly offered to divide the apple in three, for how could he choose between three such radiant goddesses? But Hermes said, no, that's not happening. The goddesses paraded before the young man. Hera offered him rulership of the world if he chose her. Athena offered to make him the mightiest and most just of warriors. And Athena simply opened her robes and offered him the cup of love and promised him the most beautiful mortal woman in the world as his bride. Well, yes, please get naked and appeal to his base instincts. Fantastic. The result was a foregone conclusion. Paris, being young and therefore not clear about his inner values, chose Aphrodite without hesitation. Surprise. His reward was the famous Helen, Queen of Sparta, and inconveniently, someone else's wife. Hera and Athena smiled and promised that they would not hold his choice against him, and then walked off arm in arm, plotting the downfall of Troy. The key in this story is the uncertainty and the not quite there set of refined priorities by a young man who does not yet know balance. So with the lovers, we do see romance, but in it, something very special within ourselves. If you are looking for love, perhaps this means a romance coming, but that's in its most simplest definition. It is more accurate to say that the lovers is kind of a, what decisions do you make to find the right kind of love? Where do you find the balance in yourself and another person? And this doesn't have to be a romantic partner. It can also be a business partner, a family member, somebody that relates to you on a deeper level. Most often in the form of a choice, which is what we see with Paris and the goddesses. So I have a start right here, and my initial affirmation, which is, I know what my heart wants. Very simple. But I'm going to do a couple of sketches here and see what exactly we can come up with. So let's listen to melodies of the heart. And feel free to visit a bit or just hang out. Maybe this is a time of day on your side of the world where you can sit back and not think about anything at all. Just the sound of my voice. Talking about love. Now let's get closer. We're just going to take this outline and clean it up a little bit before adding a bunch of details. I'll be the first one to tell you I don't know a lot about men's hair. I thought about giving him John Bon Jovi hair, but that seems silly, you know? Also, I'm not going to do that top ramen hair either. That's also silly. With my apologies to 1990s Justin Timberlake. So what I'm going to try and do here is put an expression in his eyes and hers that shows kind of certainty and doubt. And you can hold me to this because I'm not entirely, I know how to draw it, but there's always a devil in the details. Like, for instance, an eye line would be nice. So here we have our couple. And I might need a reference. Let's see where my references are. Not perfect, but better. What I is I want to get the chest and the arm and those proportions all figured out. Now I'm just going to go back to our main screen for a second. Not because I don't want you to see what's here, but because I want you to see exactly how it is I'm going to put this guy together. If you're an anime fan, you've probably seen these advertised. So I'm going to put this guy where I can see him. And I'm going to use him as a reference. It takes a lot less time to do that than to, I don't know, look it up on the internet and then go through 15 different prompts or searches to get the exact angle and stuff I want. So I'm just going to put him down there and show you what he looks like. So he's going to hang out right there while I get busy with this. Come on, I need you to focus. Focus. So for this, I'm going to have him put his hand on hers, not because of any possession, but just that's where his hand fits. So let's not go too overboard with the symbolism. Sometimes, well, humans have a tendency to overthink things, and I am no different. I am also human. In case you didn't notice. Just saying. long time ago, back when I was still pretty active with drawing Inktober, which, if you're unfamiliar, is an inking challenge done every October. I used to really love doing that, but then it got very stressful. But the thing is that I think there was a hand motion that I wasn't doing very well with, so I just would keep my eraser nearby, and even if I had an eraser at the end, never used it. And I just got used to it. So I want to make it apparent that this is not a death grip. This is more of a comfort grip. And even though you can see a little bit of doubt in her eyes, she does not feel in danger. That's a different card altogether. He should have a kind face, you know? And I'm wondering if his face is even in the right spot. Yeah, close enough. I don't like how big his nose is. That's wrong. How dare I give a young man such a big nose? That's just... I don't want that to be the reason why she's looking at him weird. Feels like her eyes should be looking somewhere else. So let's create a new eye line. While we think about where my ruler went. Okay. While we think about the lovers, I'm going to pull up the basic definition. Right after I get upset with my internet search engine for giving me an AI response. No, I don't want that. I don't know what made you think I wanted that. AI is freaking everywhere and I hate it. There's nothing genuine about AI. I'm sorry, I cannot abide. And when it comes to humans sharing ideas or displaying an understanding of communication, we want something real. So, as I was speaking of the lovers before, it's primarily a love card. A lot about soulmates and romance. But love goes deeper. Something lasting, like the lovers, goes a little deeper than just, hey, we're in love. Right now I'm feeling a bit of doubt with my own situation as we're both between jobs, to put it nicely, and driving each other crazy. Don't worry, no felonies will be committed. Maybe just a few hurt feelings. Because what is in a perfect union? It's not happiness all the time. Sometimes you just want to chuck him out the window, preferably from a moving car. Yeah, I've felt that way a few times. Unfortunately, he's a little stronger than me, so that's probably not going to happen. Okay, let's see if we can get in really close. See if we can get this expression going. So as these two look in each other's eyes, he sees a perfect union, a kindred spirit, and she sees a choice. Are you the one I'm thinking of? Are you the one that I truly love? Is this a partnership that creates a complete unit? Are we part of a whole? Do we have shared values? This is very reflective of how things are in the real world. You want a partner that fills out the parts that you don't necessarily have strengths in yet. So as far as symbolism in this, all I have is something so simple as two people looking in each other's eyes. And if you remember earlier in the stream where we were looking at the different cards, the different designs of the lovers, it was pretty much a lot of the same thing. And maybe I'm just kind of a weirdo, because that is entirely 100% a possibility. Perhaps it's not completely that. I'm going to grab a different pencil because these eyes are not doing it for me. I bet you didn't know these things had sizes on them, did you? That's a 0.5. And your standard Bic, come on, is a 0.7. So you want something super skinny? And you got one of these fancy pencils? That's a 0.5 right there. And that's a little something I get to teach you about pencils. How exciting, right? Hello, beach doggy. It's so nice to see you. I was just talking with an old friend of mine who came into town recently. And I know that, beach doggy, when you go visit family, you're there for a bit longer. You're there for like a month. Which is different from just going for a weekend, you know. I go for a weekend when I go visit my dad. It's very, very different, yeah. You quickly run out of time unless you're me visiting my dad, which is always an adventure. I'm trying to get a good look at their faces from the right angle so that I can get the expressions that I want, you know? So I don't know how long you've been watching, but it does have. But the card of the Lovers can also mean a decision in matters of the heart, a careful introspection of what is needed, what creates a perfect union. And I am making this guy's face look goofier and goofier every time I erase and redraw it. So, we'll just see where it goes, huh? All right, does he look manly yet? I think I'm going to take this heart and I'm going to make it a little smaller. There we go. A little bit smaller. So let me read to you something about the Lovers. Union, harmony, love, and attraction. It doesn't have to be something that is two people coming together. It can be finding a balance. Finding a balance in oneself, learning to understand yourself, which is key to a fulfilling relationship. Figuring out the values that you have, the shared values. It can also, the Lovers can also mean like a dilemma, a decision. It can mean uncertainty. It can also make a suggestion to not take the easy road, not to take the easy way out, to give it good thought and find out how to be true to yourself and your own needs. Because making the right choice can lead you to greater things. Doesn't mean that if you make the wrong choice, it is your downfall. That seems terribly short-sighted. It means have all the information in order to make the right choice, and don't take the easy road, or there will not be greater things. There will just be things. Not quite the same. So let's see if I can keep his head from looking very weird. I don't think it's possible. I really don't. But we're going to try. We're going to try. So what we have here is a need for affirmation that isn't just knowing what your heart wants. It's about finding the balance within yourself. So how do we affirm that? How do we make that an affirmation? Right now I've got a little start here that says, I know what my heart wants. So what else are we thinking of? I will make the right choice. Or I know what's right for me. Looks like we're running an ad right now for the followers, not subscribers. So those of you who are subscribing or doing Turbo or are on YouTube, I'm going to ask you to take this moment in time to go do a bathroom break or get some water. Maybe get up and stretch. All right, and we're back. I didn't even notice that we had gone to an ad. That's how focused I am on this woo-woo. Otherwise, I would have put this up and I would have gone to the bathroom. Because you don't want to... One does not want to soil themselves while drawing pictures and hearing about the lovers. That seems wrong. How about I trust my heart? Does that sound like a good affirmation? Let's see what else we've got going here. I'm looking in the various definitions of what the lovers actually means to different mindsets, and it does come down to love and making choices. How about this? I speak from my heart. There we go. Uh-oh, the witches are on the internet. Let's see if we can come up with one more about the lovers, and feel free to pull out your phones and or open another tab in your browser to give you an idea of what the lovers embodies. She looks up at him and she sees the love, and while she doesn't doubt him, she believes and proceeds with caution anyway, because there are challenges ahead. There are things to make choices about. There are things to consider before taking such a leap. So there we go. And I'm never going to get those boobs right, I'm sorry. The boobs just aren't going to happen, folks. It's just not. I think I want to put a little color on this. So I'm going to back up and I'm just going to do some sort of basic color on this to give me an idea of what I want to do. And today we're not going to use my acrylic markers. We're just going to do some pencils. I have a temporary crown and it is turning my tongue to hamburger. I don't really like that. It's not a windsea blue stream if something doesn't fall on the floor. So, something has officially fallen on the floor, and we are official. My thrift store find. I can't believe I found these. It's probably only, I don't know, it seems pretty new. Oh, that could have been disastrous. I set it over here next to me and it just started to slide. Gonna slide. Ooh, just gonna slide. It's gonna go on, hit the floor. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Let them fall. feel like that needs a little something, so I'm going to try something. And if it doesn't work, I'll stop. How's that? All right. I'm going to close in on this so you can see what I just did. I tried to blend it a little bit to see how well I can make that happen. And in the meantime, I gotta figure out what he's gonna look like. Let's give him something gold. And I have to be careful with these because the waxy part of the colored pencil can often be pretty fragile. I can't tell you how many of these colored pencils I have completely screwed up because I was too harsh on them. Not from drawing, from sharpening. And I'm not very good with color. I'm just going to tell you that right now. You give me a palette, I'll be fine. If you're wondering what I'm doing, she was looking a little green. So I decided to give her a little bit of brown, you know? Trust the process. Trust the process. That is a horrible hair color, but I'm going to try and fix it as soon as it dries. My sister's bugging me. Let's see what she wants. I think I'm going to send her a picture. So everybody say cheese, okay? This is the part where she writes me back and says, I am never, ever, ever going to watch your stream. To which I go, okay. That's fine. That's your loss, sweetheart. Also, I seem to have lost an eraser. This should be great. Okay. I may be doing a chill ASMR voice, but I am not above humor, right? So maybe somebody will clip that. I don't know. I don't know how to make clips. So what she did was she sent me a reel. And there's something about reels, man. I love them. I hate them. There's a time and a place, you know. She saw it and gave me a grumpy face. And then she says to me, "Why do you put your life out there for everyone to see?" I'm not putting my life out there for everyone to see. She says, "Yes, you are. You've had a blog and you wrote things about me and Mom got mad and to which I said, "Well, you were doing stupid stuff and it was funny. I had to take everything down, but, you know." Oh, good grief. Okay, I have an anecdote for you while I put my phone on vibrate. So we switched from Comcast to fiber. And there wasn't a whole lot of difference, really. Other than it was cheaper at the time. And that's great, cheaper. So we had this lower rate for several months, probably 6 months. And then this month they sent us a bill and it was 50% higher. 50% higher. That's not a deal, but what they said to me next kinda pissed me off. They said promotional price has ended. I'm sorry, ma'am, but you're going to have to pay full price now. I said, F that, I might just go back to Comcast. Even though they're kind of evil, and I hate them so much. Just hate them, but they have a promotion. Can you imagine the next 2 years of internet service being $50 a month? Sign me up, baby. Sign me up. So now I have to figure out, since I left Comcast, and it's been over 6 months, am I eligible for that fantastic $50 a month for 2 years? That would be really nice, wouldn't it? And I'm not 100% on my choice of colors here. She should be in something much lighter. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. Nice shadows here and there. Oh dear. I think I put the blue I was using back in here. take a chance. Oh, there's a good guess. So I was thinking about bringing my iPad out and doing a little bit of iPad work tonight on some things that I have done in past weeks. I thought that might be nice. iPad recap, yes. I'm thinking that might be fun. Something to show that I'm working towards my goal. This morning I spoke with my therapist. And without giving too much away, I did talk about the challenges of both of us being unemployed at the same time. Because, yay. And how we have two completely different styles for how to get things done and how to occupy ourselves. Whereas I sit down at the beginning of the week and I write down a schedule, my goals for the days, goals for the weeks, appointments, things like that. I think pretty carefully about the hours that I have that aren't committed. And I just go in that direction, like you do. But unless Jack has made himself a plan, as in, I'm going to plan to do this on Thursday. Unless he sits down and does that, everything is just kind of, you know what, this needs to be done. I'm going to go do this. And I'm going to tell Wynn about it. And she's going to help me. Or maybe she won't. And if she doesn't, she's a duty head. Which would not be false. It would not be false. So for the last few days, I've had to say, I'm kind of doing something, but okay. Because I don't want my husband to feel useless. I don't want him to be bored. I don't want any of those things for him. I want him to feel like he has purpose. Like any of my friends, right? All right, I'm going to put a little green background on the back of this. I'd love for this to be super deep. Come on. We're going to do this. Let's go. Let's effing go. Come on. Yes. Here we are. Now, as I do this, I don't feel like I've been very imaginative. But for the most part, I did want to get some kind of affirmation done, you know? I wanted to draw this as kind of a meditation. What do I think about the lovers? One last line, and then we'll pull out the iPad. All right, so we are going to go back into the iPad, and let me resituate a bunch of my stuff here. Hamburger. All right, let's see what we've got. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull out. I got to figure out where my cards went. Let's make sure that the lovers made it back into the deck. They did not. Here they are. All right. Okay, I don't know if you heard that. But everything fell off of my art stand, so I'm gonna just grab it real quick. That fell. I guess it was holding on by a wing and a prayer. Okay. My Mythic Tarot book. I've had this deck since I was like a teenager. And I was really big on reading the cards, reading them for my friends. Every once in a while, reading them for strangers. Never ever occurred to me to do it on the internet, though. And it would have been nice if I had been able to, I don't know, figure out Discord. I have a Patreon. Not entirely sure how to use it. And it's not completely set up. Haven't quite figured out if I want to make it artsy, music-y, politic-y. I don't know. I have a Substack that I haven't put anything in yet. Here we go. All right. Now I haven't updated Procreate because they borked it somehow. So we're going to look at what we've got here. Yeah, I don't need any of this. Let's just launch. There we go. Looks like everything is in order. I just need to pull up a couple of things. Let's make sure that we have not quite so much light on this. Maybe I just need to turn this down. No, that's not going to work. Maybe it's the angle. That's probably the angle. All right, so let's see. Lots of stuff in here. Where is everything? You'd think I'd know where all my stuff is. Nope. Not helpful. I wonder if I just haven't put it up here yet. That would be terrible. All right. All right, I'm going to just add some stuff here. This sucks. Could have sworn I had some stuff for you. All right. Look at this. All fuzzy. Stop being so fuzzy. Why is it like this? All right. I'm going to just bring up so that you can follow me what I'm doing here. Yeah, here we go. Oh goodness. That's not good. Give me 2 shakes here while I figure this out. All right, so what I need to do is I need to put a bunch of stuff in here. And I'm just going to drag and drop. Magician, High Priestess, Fool. I don't think I scanned the Hierophant. But you know what? We don't need that right now. 4 uploads complete. Good job, good job. I feel like I'm never going to get this figured out. Yep. Okay. What a pain in the tuchus, right? Lots of pictures of my dog. Let's see. I just dropped all this crap in here. Where did it go? You all must think that I'm completely out of my mind. Crap. So anyway, I have a big thing going on this weekend. It's just a thing. All right. Where are you? You gonna tell me where I am? No, you're not. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, I think I found it. Let's figure out exactly what it is that keeps this from appearing properly. All right. Oh, I guess I'm just not close enough. There we go. Why? Where did it go? I don't see it anywhere. Where did it go? Come on. Honestly, people. Finally. All right. All right, I gotta get a glove. I've got 50 gloves in a drawer here. That's so many gloves, I don't even have to look in the drawer to grab one. All right, we're just going to go ahead and try and ink this a bit. No, did I say ink? I meant something else entirely. Now what I'm doing is I am redrawing this in a sense that the magician is always pointing in every single card. The magician is pointing upwards as if to say, the sky's the limit, kind of thing. So I wanted to add that here. As part of the composition. And right here, I'm just kind of farting around with it. Kind of getting a general idea of where all the pieces are, all the moving parts. And we can always draw things bigger. So there we have some pencils going on there. let's make this one nice and faded as well. Well, this is unfortunate. I kind of don't want certain parts of this. I just wanted this for the arm, really. It's all about the process, all about the process. Okay. At any rate, I hope you're having a good night. Okay, so we've got some basics in here. I love that Procreate lets me draw a perfect circle or ellipse and then makes me wrestle with it as I fine-tune and edit it. It's like, you guys are the best. See? And here we have a wand. We might put a little leaf on that, who knows? Yeah, lurking is good. I love my lurkers. I'm glad you could come back to something that was awesome. So I'm drawing this little sword, and I'm reminded that yesterday Jack sent me an Instagram reel of a guy who got a new kitten, and because he's a swordsmith, he had to make a sword for his kitten. It was very cool to watch, but the whole time, and I realize it's a joke, right? But the whole time I was thinking, why does a kitten need a sword? Just tell me why. I guess just because kittens. So he made one, and it was about this long. And the kitten just was enjoying the crap out of it. And yeah, it was made out of metal, which is even weirder. It's one weird kitten, y'all. Okay, so we have those. Just gonna make a new layer for the heck of it here. Alright, so there's part of the hand. Now this mask thing that I'm using it saves me a lot of headache instead of just erasing the parts I don't want. So it's something I do a little further down the line. I know you can't see it on the screen, but there is a pencil layer in there. See? I'm not just this dynamo. All right. Not entirely sure how I'm going to manage this one. Okay, so we've got a few things here. I'm in my own little world here, y'all. So let's see what I can do about a fancier textured. I don't want that. Now I think I have some other things here. This is kind of hard. We have pencils, we have pens. All right, let's use celery. Hope for the best. And that clearly is not going to work. Nope, not going to work. So let's look again. There's creative, how nice. Digital, nope. I love that there is a grunge thing here. It's kind of silly. Basics for what? I'm starting to get tired. I hope you all are doing okay. But I am definitely starting to get tired. That's unusual for me during a stream. let's see how all this does. Well, it's got texture, I'll give it that. I don't know if I like it though. So I'm going to take that out. I'm going to see if there's something I can do like this. I might just need to stick with watercolor. And that may be what I do. And see, the thing about this particular brush is I'm not 100% on how to use it. How the hell do you use this watercolor brush? I wonder. I'm going to try something out here real quick. What am I missing? I'm missing this one. Okay. Oh, I got real quiet all of a sudden. My apologies. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this without some kind of practice with this kind of brush. I mean, look at it. I can get darks. I can even get some kind of blending thing going on. And it just doesn't do, there's just something wrong with it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick to doing what I was doing. Disappointing. Okay, we're just going to finish this up because I am starting to fade. And I know sometimes I have some friends who come in really late. They come in really late in the evening, and I get that. You kind of need to do that. You have to do that. But for me, I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. Yeah, I think at this point I'm just kind of farting around because I have lost my energy, y'all. I think when it comes down to it, I would much rather do this in pencil. You know what I mean? Because, let's see, what if I just take all of this? And just get rid of it. And then I just come back over here and I use a pencil. So I'm going to just zip through this, and at the end, which shouldn't be very long now, you can tell me if it looks anything close to the original. I can always stream another day, that's very true. You know, I think I may have overextended myself. That, or I just need a break from the schedule that I've created, you know? Because the way that I have things now is I have a Monday stream that's nice. It doesn't really start until later. Tuesday, I have a full day to myself to do what I want. So if I have any errands to get done, things like that, I always schedule it for a Tuesday. Wednesday is another stream. That's today, hot diggity. And I do enjoy this because it's almost like taking a class, you know? Because here I am doing an art thing. It's something I'm supposed to be doing, you know? And it feels good. It feels good to make the art. So giving myself something and having a schedule has been very, very helpful for me. That's probably why I get so frustrated with my husband and his spontaneity. Because he always wants to just come up with something and then let's do it. And I don't want to do that. That's not something I want to do. I don't want surprises. Let's see. But lately, I've been thinking to myself, you know what? I need a break from some of these things. And I'll tell you what. I know that you weren't here for the Porch Fest debacle. Because for me, it sucked. It sucked to have to, deal with whatever craziness that was. But holy crap. It's behind me. It was a year ago. And to recap for anyone who is new here, last year, my little trio of ladies signed up to do a festival in the next town over called Porch Fest. There are Porch Fest music things all over the place. And this just happened to be ours. And, we worked really hard to try and be ready for it. We got there, all of our friends were there. you know, and we were nervous, so that kind of thing happens. But here's the thing. About halfway into our set, the next building over was a house. A house that had like a rooftop patio kind of thing, I guess. And this young group of musicians who were not part of the festival, they just set up their instruments up there on top of that deck and played right in the middle of our set, drowned us out. It was embarrassing and disappointing and really rude. But you know what? I was so wrapped up in my own head that I didn't even think of it. I honestly didn't think. I was too busy thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I can't play bass and sing at the same time. This is so embarrassing. And what happens after that is something I wasn't expecting. My harmony ladies were very, very pissed, to the point where one of them said, I'm going to write a strongly worded email to the organizers, and I'm going to tell them what happened, and I'm going to tell them they need to fix it. And I said, please don't do that. Just please. I mean, one, it's a strongly worded email. And two, nothing good can come of it, right? This is what happens when you write a strongly worded email. Immediately you are branded as a problem. You're a problem. Unless you have lost money or sustained some kind of bodily injury, there is absolutely no need whatsoever to write a strongly worded email. And I got a copy of this email, and I was just mortified. It was like having your mom go down to the playground and yell at the other kids for you. It was just really cringe, awkward. So the email was sent. The organizers wrote back, apologized, said, gosh, I'm really sorry. That shouldn't have happened. We've done our best, and we'll go talk to the homeowners and see what's going on. Harumph. That lot of good that did. I don't know what they were expecting. But I pretty much resolved myself to not doing Porch Fest again. Unless I had a band and I was doing originals. I just didn't want to do it again, you know. I figured that's pretty much the end of whatever it is I wanted to do with Porch Fest. So there's that, right? Well, I got a text message today from one of the Harmony ladies. Sent a screen cap of a Porch Fest flyer, and it's for the band that interrupted us last year. So get this. After that strongly worded email, the organizers went and talked to the homeowner and told them what had happened. Look, guys, you were playing and you interrupted another band that couldn't compete with you. And they went, oh shit. Gosh, we're sorry, but we're playing out to an alley and we had a lot of people come out here and, it wasn't our intention. So the organizers thought about this and the homeowner thought about this, and now the homeowner is an official porch stage. and they booked the band that interrupted us, along with 2 others. And I saw this, and I just laughed. My harmony ladies couldn't tell I was laughing. Okay, I didn't. But I did say in my text message reply, I said, this was a creative solution to the problem, so it's not going to happen again. And this was a year ago, so we should probably, move on. There was much more grousing, and not a lot I can do about that. But I thought it was kind of funny. I must be horrible for thinking it's funny that the solution to this problem was to just assimilate them. And also that it pays to be a jerk at a music festival. Now, I'm far from offended, and I am far from being upset at this. I just thought, wow, what a creative solution to a problem. It's pretty cool, really. There's supposed to be... Oh, there it is. Of course it's here. All right. So they changed the subject and they said, well, you know what? We should probably get together and play because this is something we need to do. And I'm like, yes, let's play. But it was still funny. And not funny as in, ha, you being a complainy pants totally backfired, because that's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's funny because, well, what do you know? How about that? Everybody wins but us, and we didn't have any reason to be upset in the first place. I mean, yeah, embarrassing, but whatever. So I wasn't bothered by it, but I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have said anything and just rolled with it, but I really don't see what good it does to be angry about something that you kind of created a problem for to begin with. And that is why I will never write a strongly worded email. But anyway, this particular part of my schedule is something that I'm wondering if I shouldn't take some time away from. I do love these ladies. I think they're great. They're funny. They're interesting. They don't give a damn about anything except being interrupted at Porch Fest, which is fine. But I think I'm a little burnt out. Maybe just a little. So maybe I'll keep doing it, maybe I won't. But you know, I've had a pretty good vacation from it. One of the ladies had a medical procedure, and the other one went to Paris. So I got a couple of weeks. Paris? What are you doing in Paris? I don't know, looking around. Climbing towers, looking at Paris. Maybe hit a museum. Okay, I can dig it. You know, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were also playing some golf. Do they play golf in Paris? I don't know. Very interesting. I do know that one of them is very, very much a golfer. A golfer to the point where they have, that's a big chunk of their circle of friends, is the golf club where they normally play. Like I'm in a little trio with Caddyshack here. That's kind of crazy. Maybe next time I go see them and start playing music, I should suggest that we do a cover of I'm All Right by Kenny Loggins. I wonder if they'll catch on. That'd be funny if they did. Then I could say, no, really, I like this song. Gunga La Gunga. Okay. I wonder what this will look like once I take the other stuff out. Are we ready to see what this looks like? Okay, first we take out, yeah, there we go. I think I need to add some shadows. Plus, I find it a little weird that, like, I'm missing something. I'm missing some texture, but that's just going to have to come later. You like my little lights back here? I decided to do something fancy. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. I am beat up. I need to go eat something. I've spent most of my day completely hyped on caffeine. I may have eaten a potato. I don't know. But for now, I need to call it a night. Because I'm a little beat up, a little tired, and my eyes are just killing me. My sleep therapy is doing okay, but for the last couple of nights, I have tried really hard not to go to bed angry. So I've been staying up kind of late. I know. I should just read a book and chill out, and then I won't be so angry, but sometimes somebody just pisses you off, and what are you going to do, right? At any rate, I would like for you to be good to yourself, be good to somebody else, and let somebody be good to you. I think I said that right. No, it's be good to each other. That's very important. Be good to yourself, be good to each other. Let someone be good to you. Because I love you and I want you to be happy. So let me get some things done. I'm not gonna raid out unless I have a mod here that's going to insist that I do so. Gotta thank Jay Bear for sending me over to a new streamer that I'd never met before. But man, without a mod here to do it for me, I can't do it. Someday that'll be my thing, but not today. So at any rate, come see me when I do music on Mondays. Or if you just like hanging out with me and listening to a bit of lo-fi and chilling out, I'll tell you a story. We'll talk about tarot. We'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But Wednesdays are always mellow here. And I know I've already said it, but it bears repeating. Be good to yourself, be good to each other, and let somebody else be good to you. This is Wincy Blue, an artist and musician working out of Seattle, Washington. Unless you're a purist, here in Seattle there are a few. I'm actually in Bothell. So I will see you next time, guys, okay? I love you.